Can I help you?
Why, yes, you can. I'm here to report a terrible crime.
And what terrible crime is that?
This one.
As a kid, do you remember the first time that you saw a movie with a female protagonist that you thought, oh, this is cool?
Yes, The Fifth Element.
Really?
Mila Djokovic playing Lulu Dallas was like, that was my jam.
Yeah.
Lulu Dallas Multipass.
Yeah.
Oh, so many for me.
Yeah,
it's
I know
hard.
there are so many. One of my first films, I mean, wasn't exactly an action movie, but it had a big impact on me, was Color Purple.
Oh, Color Purple. Okay.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg
Right.
in that. I mean, just brilliant performance, you know. I mean.
Until you do right by me, everything you think about is gonna crumble.
It's hard for me to distill down. Sigourney Weaver in anything. I saw
Okay.
she was around a lot in my household growing up.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Who
She's
else?
amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, so many. I was an '80s baby, and we watched movies around the clock, and that was kind of a really cool era for women in action and a few sort of key roles. So I did get some inspiration from that.
How do you see like this movie? It will have been made 10 years ago. Do you think it will be different because of this like Me Too at times of movements?
I don't think this would have gotten made 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It was hard to get it made 4 years ago when I pitched it, so it definitely wouldn't have gotten made 10 years ago. I think we're in a very specific point in time right now, and it's an amazing time because people are keen to push the boundaries of filmmaking in a definitely more female-focused way. So, I mean, I feel grateful to be at this point in my career right now.
And what do you think, guys? Do you think all the
Same, absolutely. I mean, I've been doing this, we've all been doing this a long time, over 20 years. This is the first time a film like this has ever come across my attention, with this many women at this budget level, with a woman behind the camera.
R-rated.
R-rated,
Action-packed.
action-packed, violent, messy, raw, fun, funny. I've never seen anything like it, let alone been in anything like it. And I think that has a lot to do with the time that we're in.
It's so quiet. Now that I cut ties with Mr. J, I'm about to learn that a lot of people want me dead.
Do you think the superhero genre has been dominated by this sexist preconception about the female superhero?
You mean in the comics or in cinema?
Movies, in cinema.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's been dominated. I think just in general, representation matters. So I think what we're hungry to see is just more women of all kinds, women who are flawed, women who are of different ages, of different backgrounds, different identities. I think that's one thing that's so refreshing about this film. It does expand the gaze on who we are as a species, and I love that we're so imperfect. And I love that, all of our different hues and shades are being explored. And I think cinema goers are hungry to see the world reflected in the way it is, and that's what's exciting about being a part of this film, is that was such a priority for our filmmaker and for the producers, is to just see a different story told.
And I have a quote from you, Mary, that you said, you don't have to play masculine to be a strong woman.
I said that a long time ago, I think.
He does his research.
And in order to
Right.
play your characters, how do you approach that?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing about strength. The notion of strength, to me, does not equate with masculinity. There's nothing gendered about it. So I think it's just being true to who you are and standing in your truth and your authenticity. To me, that's strength. And I think all of the characters either have that or are finding that in this film, and you kind of get to see them emancipating themselves from whatever is keeping them from that truth. And their badassery really comes out of that.
For you, Margot, how do you approach to Harley this time in order to play Harley in Suicide Squad with James Gunn?
Well, each time in the original Suicide Squad film, in this Birds of Prey film, and then in the upcoming Suicide Squad film, you're seeing Harley at different stages of her life, and she's acting differently based on what her circumstances are at that point. But it's also interesting to explore Harley with different filmmakers. The things David Ayer gravitated towards are different to the things that Kathy gravitated towards, which are different to the things James has gravitated towards. And it's fun for me because I know there is so much to her, and I get to explore every facet of her because everyone keeps wanting to see a different corner of her personality. So it's been amazing, and certainly in this film, I think Kathy was really interested in seeing a more vulnerable side of Harley. What does it look like when Harley isn't sure of herself? What does it look like when she's not sure if she can pull it off? What does it look like when she starts having feelings and feeling responsible for a kid, which she kind of does in this film? And that's definitely a notion she rejects quite quickly. And just seeing her struggle with that's always fun. But I think the thing about Harley Quinn is she's going to start she's going to start any journey in one place, and then she's going to go like this, and then she's going to end kind of in the exact same place. So by the next Suicide Squad film, she really hasn't figured her shit out yet. She's just at a different time in her life.
What?
You are so cool.
This year we have 4 big superhero movies, and this year these movies are directed by women. We have Kate Shortland, Chloe Zhao, Patty Jenkins, and Kathy Young. You as an active members of the film industry, what do you think are the next steps to continue this trend, this equality?
I mean, I feel like the people in power have to make active choices to open the doors up, you know, which I think DC's doing so great in just expanding the gaze in what stories are being told and who can tell them. And as you see with Wonder Woman and Patty Jenkins, I mean, it's an amazing movie, and you know, in the hands of a masterful filmmaker. And
the thing about those people in power, they're business people, and when they see Wonder Woman make a ton of money, they want to do it again.
Right.
So as much as it's about them taking action in that way, it's about people going to the cinema and supporting
buying a ticket.
it.
Yeah.
If those box office numbers are there, it's just a smart business decision to do it again.